The new phenomenon that has been taking over the internet by storm. A lot of people have been asking me, how good of a fighter was Andrew Tate really? Some people don't even know that Tate used to actually be a professional kickboxer, and the guy was good, a legitimate professional fighter. Andrew Tate amassed a kickboxing record, seemingly, some places have a different number, but they're around the same, 76-9. I don't know if that's the exact accurate number, but that's kind of what I'm seeing. Regardless, a lot of wins and not that many losses. And he was a multiple-time international champion as well as the Infusion World Champion, getting a bunch of titles from 2009 all the way to 2014, fighting from light heavyweight to cruiserweight. He even tried his hand in MMA, undefeated in that sport, and did very well, even beat 6'6" Luke Barnett, who a lot of people know for his run in the UFC. They eventually became friends, sparred a bit. I recommend you guys checking out that entire sparring video. It's actually an interesting one to look at because Barnett is a massive guy. But overall, Andrew Tate has a very unique style, an elusive, dexterous, and yet aggressive striking style combined with traditional martial art kicks, but more modern boxing. You don't normally see that kind of mix. When he kicks, you think he's a traditional fighter, but when he punches, he adopted a lot more of the modern boxing styles. It made that combination work beautifully. And what you're gonna get from Andrew Tate's style is there's a lot of manipulation of his opponent's defenses and even sometimes their attacks. He's almost in full control of what his opponent is doing, and you have to get at a high level to really do that kind of stuff. And yes, Tate has a lot of power, man, knocking opponents out with one punch and even awkward angles that you would find pretty surprising to generate the kind of power from. On the back foot, casting punches while getting his own leg kicked out. Andrew Tate actually has some immense power in everything he throws, but he doesn't necessarily overextend the way a lot of fighters will have to generate that kind of power. But it's also behind good technique, who has multi-layered attacks wreaking havoc on opponents' bodies. He has some sharp punches to the body, man. That left hook to the liver is always there. Not only that, he is lightning quick for a guy his size, 6'3", fought at cruiserweight and also light heavyweight, which most likely had him walking a little bit north of 200 pounds back in those days, able to swing up his kicks at rapid speeds with different kind of angles, side kicks to the midsection or up top, as well as off-timing round kicks that he would put inside unique same side combinations. For an example, he'll throw his left hand and then the left kick, or his right hand and then the right kick. This is such a great combination that you even saw UFC veteran Stephen Wonderboy Thompson get a knockout in the UFC doing this exact same thing. And he also comes from the same sport as Andrew Tate. Fighters are conditioned to defend alternating strikes, left, right, left, right. They don't necessarily recognize when same side attacks come out. Left, left, right, right. This is a big example why you saw Anderson Silva get knocked out by Chris Weidman way back in the day when Weidman doubled up on his right hand, which caused Anderson to lean into the opposite direction. And this is still a thing today. Combined with Tate's extremely quick and dexterous kicks, it makes the combo highly difficult to evade and or block effectively. And Andrew Tate's kind of tactic here with this combination, of course it's going to be all muscle memory and things he's been drilling for years, but this kind of combination is excellent in controlling the guard of his opponent. The punch is going to control of where the guard is going to close and where it's going to open. So in this instance, the jab is going to close up the guard up top, opening up the midsection, and that's where Tate is able to land these round kicks with his left leg, and he throws it seamlessly with one motion. There's not a choppy flow to this. The jab comes and the left kick is coming immediately afterward, which can make this combination pretty hard to see. Or another example of this would be him in the southpaw stance, so he's able to switch effectively, throw out the lead right hook up top, which is going to get the guard to tighten up on the sides of the head but open up the center. Because the center is opened up, Tate is able to throw up a side kick to the face, an attack that I routinely say is a very underused technique, and I believe in the near future a lot more of the top fighters are going to be using this. This technique he used throughout his entire kickboxing career, and nobody was really able to address it. And this form of control of the opponent's defenses also expanded to other avenues. For an example, chambering the lead side kick is going to trigger out the leg raise of the opponent in order to block the side kick. This defense is going to cause his opponent to plant for Tate's next move. So Tate intelligently feints high to cause a refocus of his opponent. He now believes a punch is going to come up top, With all of his focus on his hands, he lowers his leg to the floor, which opens up a big leg kick from Tate. Or what about the double feint overhand that he landed on his German opponent here? By leaning to his left side and pumping his lead hand, he's creating an illusion that he's coming in heavy. It makes his opponent believe that he's going to come in aggressive with some big punch. His opponent reacted by instinct, tried to parry the jab that he thought was going to come forward. His opponent, not seeing any jab come out and only saw the Tate move forward, he thought this was an opening for himself to throw a left hook and catch Tate aggressively trying to get in. But this is a perfect example of why you take smaller steps. The lean gave the illusion to his opponent that Tate was lunging in there, but the placement of his feet told a different story. It caused a slower motion inward, and that is why the left hook ultimately missed. Tate just saw it whiz on by. After it got right in front of his face, he knew to lock it down and create that opening for his vicious right hand, and at the same time, slipping on the outside of his opponent's countering right cross. Multiple steps ahead of his opponent here, from the illusion of the lean to the double step and double feint, lining up a right overhand as he slips on the outside of his opponent's final attack. Intelligent stuff by Andrew Tate there. Or what about the time he leaped in with a left hook and moved out to his left side, which is going to open up the entire right side of himself for his opponent to escape to. So Tate is pretty much filling in that left space, so it gives his opponent a full sense of escape on the other side. And Tate was looking up to line up a head kick, which was the ultimate trap from his opponent's quote-unquote free escape. But the only reason why this head kick did not land was because he actually rocked his opponent with the left hook, and that was partially blocked, which shows you the power that Tate has in his hands. If his opponent did not get rocked by the hook, he would have repositioned his stance into the head kick. But ultimately, it was intelligent work from Tate working for that angle. Now we went from him manipulating his opponent's defenses, but what about manipulating their attacks? So we already know that Tate usually keeps a rather tall stance. Doesn't really give his leg up to his opponent to attack, but here he did it, and it showed to be a bit more uncharacteristic of his style. He went into a rather exaggerated karate stance that you don't normally see a lot of people do unless they're trying to fake out their opponent or show some flash for the audience. And in this case, he was trying to draw out that leg kick. Noticing how wide his stance is, that lead leg is there for the taking, or at least his opponent thought so. By throwing the leg kick, Tate slides backward very quickly, which naturally gets himself into a stance to throw up a head kick right from there. His opponent tried to get away as fast as he could, but still gets caught by the end of it. So again, we ask the question, how good is Andrew Tate really? The answer is really good, and I wonder if he actually pursued it even more. How far would he have gotten? With the competition that he was facing, he was tearing a lot of these guys apart. He has a couple losses just like every kickboxer in the world. Nobody really goes without losing down the road. He did it at a younger age as well. There's always learning situations that are going to happen, and ultimately made him an even better fighter. There's a lot of people that want to see him fight Jake Paul in boxing, and I think that'll open up a lot of people's eyes as well as to how good of a striker Andrew Tate is. If they box with each other, a lot of people should be leaning to Andrew Tate's side. So ultimately, I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown, and if you did, make sure to give this a thumbs up. If you enjoyed my content, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video.